Tyler McGhee here, coming to you from Orange County National. I had a player yesterday that I was teaching from Australia. We talked a lot about the grip and how it relates to the loading of the club and why it's so important. So we went through, and I just thought it'd be a good one to go through, because sometimes it's an easy one to skip over. You know, it's not as exciting as, you know, creating more, you know, force from the ground, but it's probably the most important thing you can do in the golf swing, is making sure that your grip is in a spot where you're able to transfer the energy up to the club head, because really the only thing that we're touching is the grip, right? So if that isn't in a functional place, we're going to have to do an awful lot of compensating to give us a chance to produce energy into the swing. Okay, so with this player, his tendency was that he was assuming that the fingers, he was trying to have the grip in the fingers sort of this way, okay, sort of across the fingers like this. And then what would happen is in his glove there would be a big wear mark across the bottom of the glove here, sort of a pretty long wear mark from the front to from the palm of the baby finger all the way to the pad of the hand. So that was just showing that the grip was moving around a lot in the swing. So what that equated to for him was, he thought for him to control the club head, he needed to grip the club very firm, okay? So the club, because he said, oh, if I don't grip it super firm, I'm going to lose control of the club head and lose control of the grip in my hand. So he was using a lot of tension. And what that led to was, as he'd come down, because there's so much tension, it wasn't able to transfer the energy up to the club head, and you'd see a lot of that in the first move down, right? So he's holding it tight, he goes to transition, club releases early, hard to get the strike, hard to get the contact, okay? So what we did for this player was we worked on first getting the grip in a better spot. So, you know, we were going sort of middle of the index finger sort of through the bottom of the pinky, then closing the fingers, getting the pad of the hand on top of the club head, then closing the fingers, and then being able to have the club be able to move up and down very freely. You can do this from a strong position. You can also do it from a weak position. It doesn't really matter, but we have to have control of the club head so we're able to move it up and down without an immense amount of tension into the hands, okay? So now that the grip was in a better spot, we've been working a lot on the loading pattern and getting him back, which he was doing a great job of. So then what we did was, as he came down, he just tried to relax his arms as much as he could, started to sense that the club was starting to follow that movement versus trying to create energy this way, right? So if I go like this, and you know, I don't have a lot of wrist, but I'm loaded, and I start to push, you know, the transition through the ground, through the pelvis, up to the chest, through the thorax, right? Into the lead arm, into the hand, and then the club is gonna follow that motion, and then I can create more of like a sling idea with that transition move. So if I really tried to load it up, super jello hands here, very relaxed hands, good rhythm, good stretch, and then I just let the club follow me in that transition move to create that nice loading of the club head, okay? So I got it on a tee here. I'll show you. So I'm not trying to, so that was 92 miles an hour, and I had it on sort of a high tee. That's why the attack is up, but I just wanted to highlight, I'm not putting an immense amount of force. I'm very, you know, I'm holding the club lightly, but I have control of the club because of the grip position. I'm getting a big stretch, and then continuing to stretch as I transition, and then let it out through the hit. Okay, so you know, that's a lot, not very much conscious energy. That was 94. I'm feeling very relaxed in my arms, creating the stretch, and then letting the energy get up and store into that club head, and then letting it out. Again, I'm not trying to force load. I'm not trying to force lag. I'm not pulling the hands down. I'm just feeling like it's soft. I'm maintaining my spacing, and then I'm able to transfer that into the ball. So it's one of those ones you got to give up control a little bit to gain that energy into the club head. If I'm trying to control it and force the club into a certain position just for a certain look, I don't see that being a repeatable or successful thing most of the time, okay? So I'd rather it be, again, natural flowing motion, let the energy get into the hands, let it get all the way to the club, and then let that energy out. Easy energy, easy speed, low amount of stress on the body. That's always the goal. I hope that helps you. Remember, sometimes in golf it's fun to go extreme and do it very elaborate things, but getting back to the basics, making that setup good, making that grip good, making that load up good, all those things really lead to success over a long term in the golf swing. There's no real shortcuts. It's fun to try different things, but we always want to make sure we're building that nice foundation for your game. If you need any more specific instruction, check out tylermcghiegolf.com. Happy to help you. I've been helping lots of players online. It's been a fun journey. Everyone's different, so everyone's going to have different cues that's going to help them get the most out of their game.